So I'm just taking a look at the cards here. Looks like for the general feeling of May, I'm seeing a lot of blue sky. So I'm getting that things may be opening up for you, Taurus. I'm seeing a lot of blue sky. I'm seeing a lot of ease. I'm seeing a lot of sort of sunny days for May is what I'm really picking up on here. One of the things that this card, Five of Wands, talks about is, I call this card playing versus fighting. Because as you can see in the imagery of the card, it is a card where there are 5 people who are holding up these wands. I'm going to hold it like this so it's easier to see. There's a little bit of glare. But there are 5 people who are holding up wands. And what that could be is competition. It's a card that has a lot of Mars energy, so it's a lot of activity. They could either be playing in a playful sport-like way, or they could be outright fighting or competing over something, or it could be outright chaotic war. So when I see 5 of Wands, I always say, pick your battles and see if you can see the lighthearted, playful sport side of things rather than, 5 of Wands in reverse can say you're kind of getting tripped up by the daily frustrations of life, or that there may be all this like little stuff like parking tickets or traffic, or it's like all those little hassles in life are tripping you up. Try to adopt a playful attitude towards that, Taurus, for May. There's a great quote by a Buddhist monk that says, enjoy your problems. And if you can adopt that sort of lighthearted, playful, playing versus fighting attitude, it's going to really serve you for May. So that's one of the things that's going on. Alternately, there could be something that you're competing for that you don't end up succeeding in. It becomes a fruitless competition. So that I'm going to say is don't expend too much energy fighting for, or competing for something, because it's saying too that it may not be worth your time and effort. That's another message from 5 of Wands. What's in your shadow position? 5 of Swords. Now, these are both 2 5s I'm seeing. And 5s have to do with change, transformation, sometimes chaos. Everything gets thrown up in the air so that new order can be found. So some of you may be going through a big change in May. It may feel chaotic. It may feel wild. It may, alternately feel really fun. 5 can feel like that, but oftentimes it's like everything gets thrown up in the air, and then when it settles, that's when 6 arrives. You actually have 3 5s in your spread here, Taurus. So I'm really seeing some real change and transformation. And with that new house, new moon in your house, Taurus, a new you is emerging. So 5 of Swords is called picking up the pieces. This is a card that has to do with learning from the past. Some people call it open dishonor. You can see in the image that the figure is picking up swords that are left over from a battle. So swords represent knowledge, wisdom, understanding, the air element, which has to do with thought and the mental aspect of things. So he's collecting new thoughts, new wisdom, new knowledge, new understanding from having endured a battle, from having gone through something. So what I'm going to say is when this is showing up, because it's showing up in your shadow position, is there some way, Taurus, that you're not seeing the insights from the past that you could be collecting? Is there wisdom, knowledge, and understanding available to you from a battle that was waged in the past? Are you overlooking any insights that you could collect with you and take with you for this next journey? Because there is a new beginning that you may either be resisting or has already started and is kind of drifting away. This is a card that is about new beginnings, Taurus. Ace of Wands doesn't want me to pick it up. Ace of Wands is like a new spring. It's new vitality, new energy, new joy. In the reverse position, it's saying it's available to you, but you may not be fully open to it. You may have some doubts, fears, or resistance to receiving it, to allowing it. It's kind of like an opportunity that you need to grab onto, or it's going to fade away. I also just want to contrast that with this card, because you can see in Five of Wands, these are all people fighting amongst one another. This is someone who's out front, leading their own race, running their own charge. This is like the archetype of someone who is the leader in a parade, or the active runner in a marathon. Whoever holds the baton is the active element in the race. So I'm kind of seeing that you may have an opportunity in May. Don't let this pass you by. Don't let it drift by. This Ace of Wands energy. It's a new opportunity for you if you grab it, if you decide to run with it. And that is passing away. So I'm getting the sense that that is either something that was available to you, or maybe just available to you for a short time at the beginning of May, and then is in the passing away position. But because it's so related, both in reverse, both wands, to this card, there's going to be something that when you're drawn into any sort of petty grievances or competitions or any of that, go your own way. Take that opportunity before it passes away, Taurus. What's approaching is 10 of Wands in reverse. This is security generally. It often represents inheritance. This is accumulation of money from generations past, from good decisions having been made over time. And you can see there's a very secure couple in their castle. But in the reverse position, it's like not having access to the money that you want to feel secure, or not having the security, not having the castle, whatever it is that 10 of Coins represents to you, whether it's the money or the castle or the relationship, whatever gives you that sense of security. You're not, for some reason it's here, but you're not able to get to it. So it's like something that's behind lock and key, or something that you have fears about, resistance, doubts, that you can't seem to get to it. So if there's any inheritance, money, security, home or castle, or security of the relationship that you're trying to let in, it wants to show up for you, but there's some resistance. You'll see all these cards are in reverse, these four. So there's something to do with all four of these that are keeping them blocked. It's like a cork being held underwater. And when you allow the energies to just be present, rather than engaging in any sort of doubt, fear, or resistance towards them, then they correct. So for example, if you were to go out on your own and have the courage to take this opportunity, whatever this is presenting to you, rather than compete for others and have it be in strife or in Mars energy, then those energies correct. It's any fear, doubt, or resistance to allowing these things to come up that keeps them under the surface. Same with these. It's there for you. It's just that you kind of have to let it come to the surface. You have to let it in. It's knocking at the door. You have to let it in. Same with King of Cups. This is in your highlighted position, Taurus. And this is the perfect partner. This is usually the perfect husband, someone who is compassionate of heart. He's usually a master of his emotions. He's a good father, a good person to be in a relationship with. He's very in touch with his emotions, very allowing of other people to experience their emotions, but he is upside down. So this could potentially be a water sign who's not being themselves. That's Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio that's being highlighted for you during May. Or this is someone who is normally the archetype of the King of Cups, you know, compassionate father, compassionate partner, who is just feeling out of sorts or feeling upside down. They're not their normal self. So that's kind of highlighted for you in May, Taurus. There may be someone who is either a water sign or normally fits that King of Cups archetype of the reliable partner, the reliable father, that is not showing up that way. And the sense I'm getting is the best thing that you can do is to focus on this Ace of Wands, this clear day. I do see that there's this openness to you that is available to you, but you're almost feeling like you have to fight off with the normal crowd rather than going your own way. And that's keeping everything upside down. It's keeping the domicile, the home, the husband or the partner, kind of throwing it in reverse. So let the opportunity that is kind of here, grab onto it, grab hold of it, go out on your own, go forward. So that's what I'm really getting. And look to your past for insights about how you can use experiences from your past and knowledge about things you've been through before to collect those insights and use that knowledge, that wisdom towards this new beginning. So that's my general reading for you for May, Taurus. I'm going to say grab it by the horns, whatever it is. Don't feel like you have to fight over it. Don't feel like you have to compete. You're kind of the front runner here anyway. So, and until you do, it's kind of keeping your home and relationship upside down. You have some knowledge available to you if you choose to collect it. Some spoils from war, some prior experiences that allow you to have insight, and it will help you do this. For week 1, Emperor in reverse. Things are out of order in May. Taurus doesn't, 3 5s, which means chaos, disruption, change, transition, all of that. And Emperor in reverse is like the empire is upside down. So this is like no laws, no boundaries, no order, a little bit of unbridled chaos in week 1 of May. But I kind of get the sense that you can handle that with a 5 being your central card. You're just going to have to ride that wave. My mom used to say, when the big wave comes, ride it. And that's kind of what I'm getting for you for May, Taurus. And it may just feel like everything is out of order in week 1. But don't worry about that. In week 2, you have everything locked down. This is you, Taurus. This is, whether you're male or female, this is Queen of Coins. And this is a person who has their house together. They are in charge of the money. They're in charge of the assets. They're in charge of all the domestic affairs. I usually associate Queen of Coins with cooking, with raising children, being a good host, anything that has to do with managing things around the home. That's Queen of Coins energy. She's very happy there. She's very content, and she's very capable there. So this is you, Taurus. So if it feels like in week 1, and an overcurrent feeling of May is that things are kind of out of order, that things are transforming, ride with that. In week 2, you're gonna have a nice opportunity to kind of settle down and feel some contentment, feel grounded, when maybe week 1 felt out of order. So look forward to that. For week 3, 5 of Coins in reverse. I'm kind of getting that for some of you, your money may be stretched thin. With 10 of Coins in reverse and 5 of Coins in reverse, it's kind of like not having access to the money that you want. You may need to rely upon someone else in week 3. You can see this is 5 of Coins where this person is getting comforted. An alternate interpretation of that is that you may need to just kind of be content with what you have and focus on the spiritual world rather than the material world, because you may not have access to everything that you want in May. But that doesn't mean that it's not coming to you later. It's just that with all this 5 change energy, you might need some comforting. You might need some help. You might feel like, I'm stretched thin. I don't have enough to eat. I don't have enough clothes. I can't make it to the hospital to fix my head here. Receive comfort. Because this is in reverse, it's saying there may be a challenge to receiving help or comfort, but allow yourself, especially in week 3, to receive help and receive comfort, especially when it comes to material things. And or you may need to focus more on the spiritual world if things feel like they're lacking in the material world. The spiritual world is always full and abundant and available to us. This is a real card of focus, though. So I also want you to keep your eye on what matters in week 3, because there may be a tendency to think, oh gosh, things are upside down, things are changing, I feel left out in the cold, I don't know where I'm going to get my comfort from. But if you keep your focus on the warmth and the spiritual abundance that is always available to all of us, that is a great source of richness and prosperity and abundance that you can always have. So keep an eye on where your focus is in week 3. Don't be afraid to receive help, whether it's, mental, spiritual, physical, any of those things. You might just need some TLC week 3. Then week 4, Magician in Reverse. And this is a card where it's showing that you have the capability, you have the power to create what you want. You may just not believe it. You may just not trust it or know how. It's like the magician has all of the elements he needs. He has all the ingredients to create what he wants. He kind of like downloads it from the etheric realm and says, abracadabra, here it is. What magician does is he literally says words that speak. Abracadabra means I speak it into being. I say it and therefore it is so. So think about what it is that you want to say. By saying something, you may be able to bring it into being. With Magician in Reverse says you don't believe that you can. You don't believe that you have the power to bring it into being. You're stripped of your own power. But he is showing up for you here in week 4. So I would encourage you to focus on your concentration, your speech, what you're saying and bringing into being in the 4th week of May here. And also just where your focus is. What is it that your concentration, remember he's single-minded. Magician is the 1 number. He's thinking about one thing. He has one purpose, one drive, one point of attention. And therefore, that's how he's able to create and have results, because he's single-minded. So what areas can you apply your power of vision, of focus, of concentration in order to get results? And you may need to speak those things into being, whatever that may mean for you. May mean communication for some of you.